Views expressed here are not supported by and do not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
This is Relationship-ish, where we talk about the cornerstone of every relationship. Connections. 9 p.m.
We're live.
Marriage. Sex.
And we're having a great time already.
Yourself. Your family. Divorce. Your ex. Your co-workers. Your friends. Your situation. Your lover. Your mother. You name it. Connections. And we always have a great time.
Of course you had to mess
With your
it up, right?
hosts, Dee and Cash.
Hello, everyone. It's Thursday night and it's 8 o'clock. Do you know what it is? It's time for Relationship-ish, where we talk about the cornerstone of every relationship, connection with your marriage, sex, your family, music, whatever it is, we're here at Connection. I'm your host, Cash.
And I'm V.
And we have special guests today. Tell us who they are, V.
We have Secret D, who I've known for many, many years. And we also have Jamal, who Cash has known for many, many years.
Yes, thank you for joining us tonight. So our question of the week, what's something you're kind of snobby about, Secret D?
I think food, like certain types of food. I'm picky, so that's one thing. So I just don't eat certain things depending on how they look. But
that sounds like snobbery right there, depending on how it looks.
Yeah, but do you care? Do you get mad if I'm eating something that you don't like? Do you go, okay, how you might not say it out loud, or do you say it out loud, like ill, like you really?
My face says it. My face says it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my face absolutely will say it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
love the term "don't yuck my yum."
Mm-hmm.
When you're eating something, people looking at you, like when you go to Wendy's and you take that fry and dip it in the frosty.
Oh, Cash, you yuck my yum all the time. If somebody's eating goat cheese, like, how could you eat that? Ew, I could never. Like,
goat cheese. I like goat cheese.
No, goat.
Oh, goat. Yeah.
Yeah. You see, that's what it makes a face. Like it's terrible. Like, so don't even play that. So I'm calling you out because you go, oh, I could not. Okay, I'm not even. I don't know how you could eat that. So she does people's yum. I'm just saying.
Well, I've been trying to get better.
How about you, Jamal? What are you snobby about?
So a couple years ago, I wouldn't have been snobbish about it, but I've been getting snobbish about whiskey, about bourbon. I've been on this whole bourbon kick, and I've been trying different things, and I'm like, ooh, like I like what I like now, and I'm like, nah, some things I'm like, nah, can't mess with the regular Johnny Walker. I need some good stuff now.
Oh. You know why? He got that good money.
Oh, he got
that good money.
He doesn't know how to act now with that raise. Okay.
Nah, that's from working with kids. That means I gotta drink a
lot. I don't know nothing about that life.
Really?
How about you, snobby?
That's what I'm asking you. What are you snobby about?
I think I'm snobby about sugar. Like, my sugar has to be Domino sugar. I can't have no white label, off the counter, some no-name sugar. I cannot, because I can taste the difference. Like when it's added to my tea or coffee, I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, my wife is like buying sugar one time, and I was like, did you buy like the store brand or something? She's like, what's the difference? I'm like, I'm snobby about my sugar.
I'm snobby about labels when it comes to food. Like my father had Hunt's ketchup. I'm like, Hunt's ketchup? I need Heinz. Like, I'm like, I can't. I'm like this. What is that? Like, so when it comes to labels, I definitely am snobby. But I'm snobby about people's clothes. So when I see somebody, I judge them. I'm like, okay, he's working in a bank and he has those shoes. He thinks he's gonna take my money and do something with it because he's not doing good with his. Like, I'm definitely snobby about clothes. I look at people's purses, men's shoes. Like at the bank, I seriously told the guy who was, an officer of the bank, and he was trying to, he invests money. So I'm like, you can't invest people's money with those shoes. And he's like, what? And I swear this is a true story. And I'm like, when I come back here, you have to have a different pair of shoes because that's crazy. Your suit is good, but those shoes have to go. So the week I came back because I had another appointment, and he said, do you like my shoes? I said, I love your shoes. And he said, do you know, I changed these shoes 2 days after you told me. And my boss was like, it was about time you got some real shoes because I couldn't take those shoes. And he's like, no one told me. Thank you so much. I was like, I will tell you because that's crazy. No. Yeah, I'm snobbish about clothes. I can't with the, I can't.
So, as you could see, I'm the least snobby here.
I'm snobby.
I'm just snobby about sugar.
I'm pretentious. I'm all of the above. That's me. I judge you. Yes, I do. That's who I am. So I'm not gonna pretend. Anybody who knows me is just gonna say she's lying. She does judge you, and she is snobby. Yeah, I am. No one else is snobby about clothes. You don't care if somebody comes up into your thing. Okay, so if you're having a meeting with somebody and they look like they haven't taken a shower in 2 weeks and they're talking to you and they don't smell.
One thing. Is that about being snobby or just about hygiene? I cannot stand.
Well, maybe they're hard workers and they don't have time for that.
You come to and you want to ask me a question and you smell like Takis and coffee. No,
that's gross. That's just nasty. That's not about.
And you're like, so
that's not about being snobby. That's just nasty.
So that's just about good hygiene.
Okay,
and you know how I feel about maybe I'm snobby about germs because I can't have anybody's germs. So you know me. I gotta especially people who talk to me with Takis and coffee breath. I don't think they're clean. So I stand back. And I love touching everybody, but I keep that one foot in front so you can't really invade my space because that foot is there. But I'm still close, but I'm not because it's like you're just by my foot. I'm just saying. That's just nasty.
It is nasty. Yeah.
So did you know? So don't forget to like our podcast, share our podcast. We are on YouTube. We're on the Evening Rush Network. I can't even do my.
Hey, Nicole is having store brand sugar right now. Okay, Nicole.
Oh, see what I'm saying? See
anybody else tell me what you're snobby about? Write in what you're snobby about. Let us
share
know.
On Facebook, YouTube. We're on TikTok. Secret D. Follow us. Is on TikTok, YouTube. But right? I think you are. I think you didn't put your information, so I don't know. I don't know where she at. So I want to thank our producer tonight because our producer is out. You know what? I want to give a shout out to our producer Dawn because he had surgery today. So we have our second producer, Ms. Rainbow, in the background helping us out. Yes. So we hoping you're feeling better, Mr. Dawn.
I hope you're feeling good.
So today is National Video Game Day. Who has not loved Super Mario Brothers? Come on.
I have not loved
Super Mario. Super Mario Brothers. Who doesn't know Mario and Luigi?
I've never played a game with them. I don't know what that is.
Let me tell you.
You've never, ever in your whole life played a game with Mario and Luigi?
The only video game that I played was way before your time, and that was Pac-Man. Oh no, I'm not joking. That's the only game that I have played.
Well, if you play Pac-Man, Super Mario Brothers was back with Pac-Man.
Okay, but I never played Super Mario Brothers.
Oh
It
Lord.
doesn't matter if it was at
And
the same
do
time.
and for the moms out there, video games actually increases the gray matter in your brain. It actually
Mhm.
helps you grow the hardwired and to improve problem solving skills.
Yep. And if you're on social media and you cut and edit videos, it also does the same thing. Did you know that? So if your kid is a creator and wants to cut the videos and put in the sound and do all that, that does increase brain power. So just I mean, if you're just texting back and forth or liking, that's not the same. But if you're editing, your kid is editing, let them go on. Let them
But
be
if they're
creative.
playing video games now, my mom, if you're listening, I was actually increasing my problem solving skills when I was up to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Is that what you were doing? I don't even think.
No,
I
no, I
don't.
was playing video games. And back
Um,
then, you couldn't even save the game. So hell no. I told you I almost got beat a couple of times because my mother's like, didn't I call you? And then went to, she pulled the cord out the wall.
and ended your game, and that was the end of that.
Oh, after spending how many hours to get to that level? Man, that's all I could say. That's all I could say. That hard earned work gone in an instant. And I was like, what the? Nothing. Thank you very kindly. Can I have some more? Anyway,
Yeah.
V, what's the word of the week?
Sycophant.
Sycophant.
Yes.
I'm sick of that too.
Uh-huh. But
You're sick of the fan?
I do say
Sounds like an elephant.
But it's usually pronounced sycophant as if it's an ENT instead of ANT. That's the usual pronunciation. I do say sycophant, but I'm just saying that's not the usual pronunciation.
Sycophant.
You're right. That's how it's usually pronounced. So I was like, I heard it several times and I was like, wait a minute. And I'm like, okay, I'm pronouncing it. I mean, you can pronounce it. It's spelled sycophant, but I'm just saying it's usually sycophant. Whatever. I'm saying it. And it means like brown noser, butt kisser, somebody who is, trying to get the next job. So they're just trying to be they're a sycophant. It's a noun. They're trying to do whatever it takes. So they're like, oh, dude, would you like some coffee? Oh, of course you're right about that. I think that's a great proposal. Like they're just, brown nosing so they can get the next job or whatever reason that they're brown nosing so they can be invited to a party or whatever.
I guess that's why I'm not getting promoted. Damn. Because I'm not a yes, sir. I'm not a no, sir. Fit the box, fit the mold, have a seed in the That's not me. That's not me. I cannot. You're like, oh my God, can I go get you another plate of food, sir?
Did Jamal just leave?
He's back.
I told y'all.
Comes back.
I told y'all I'm making dinner.
He told you. He told. Look, this is what happens when you call somebody at the last minute. It's okay. He's doing his thing. He's.
What are we making, Jamal?
Not a sycophant.
What are we making, Jamal?
We are making some chicken Alfredo with a little bit of sun-dried tomato that I had marinating in some white wine all day. Look at that right there. Oh, wait, yeah.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Oh, you fancy.
Okay, he said it's marinating in some white wine.
He's not doing any like I'm coming home, I'm just gonna eat whatever's there. Like me, I had cheese doodles for dinner.
I had a Ricola. Anyone?
That's how I would eat, but I gotta feed
I had
little people.
That was good.
I gotta feed picky little people. Otherwise, I would eat like that.
Well, I usually eat better, but today just got away from me. I got my nails did. Look at my nails. Ooh.
Nice.
I never ever had white nails in my whole life. Today,
well, don't they say something about people with white nails?
And it's true. Let me tell you.
What do they say
Yeah,
about
I
people
heard
with
that
white
What do
they're
they
I
dumb.
don't
say?
know what they say. I have no idea what she's talking about, but I'm like, look, if she's gonna go there, I'm going right with her.
I'm just curious. She's like, I don't know about nothing about the white nails.
Me
I
either.
think
So
it's white toes. Is it white toes?
I put
If you have
What's wrong
white
with white
toenails, something
toes?
about white
I have
toenails.
black
Oh,
polish on my.
Iris is not online. Where is Iris?
I don't know where
It's
is
some.
the gang. None of them. I don't see
It's
them.
something about white toenails. I'm
Because
pretty
my
I have
toes
sure.
are white right now.
my toes are black right now. I have French
But
manicure.
yeah, that don't sound good.
Yeah,
My
black
toe is
toenails,
black right
black
now.
toenails and white, and then I have white with black. I've never done anything so crazy in my life. Like I've never had blue. I've never done any. I just wear pink, a different shade of pink every time. But today I was just like, you know what? It's gonna be white nails today.
I used to wear white a lot in high school.
Mm.
I remember you told me it looked like white out.
Yeah, you look like you have white out on your nail.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Knowing her, she probably did put white out on her nails a couple of times because she was bored in
I
school and didn't
did,
want to pay
but it was
attention.
actually nail polish that time.
Well, I never put any other color. I mean, when I was younger, I used to wear red and pink, but as an adult, I'm not like crazy. Like I don't have any. I just want to be pink. Like I was already thinking, like tomorrow, what am I going to wear to match this? See, that's the problem. When I wear pink, I don't think about matching. But when I have this, I'm like, okay.
Okay, so we're going down a rabbit hole. So,
Mhm.
what is our pause? I guess that was a pause of the night while
Right,
having your nails done white nails. I'm like,
right.
girl. So, anyway, my pause for the night, we're talking about this debate. Who saw
Yeah.
this debate?
Oh yes, baby. I saw
Oh
it.
my God. She ate it, especially like when she was like,
Mm-hmm.
but the turning point for me the whole night when he was like, they're eating dogs,
Yeah,
they're
that was
eating
it. Mic drop.
people's
That was
Mic
pets.
mic drop after that. Because I had turned away for a second. I was paying attention to something else. And then I turned back and he was talking about they're eating the dogs. I'm like, what is this dude even talking about right now?
nope. He
That
There
was
doesn't
it.
know
in
what
oh
he's talking about.
in Springfield, I had to look it up, and they
Mm-hmm.
because it's like this whole train of fake news in Springfield, Ohio. They're talking about the new immigrants are eating the pets.
And then the moderator said, "There's no evidence of that, sir." So and
And
then he
he
just kept
kept on.
talking.
Yeah, there is. I'm gonna have his face for the whole night now.
But did
There
anybody
is.
notice? Because I went back and watched the whole thing because I had it taped live. So did anybody notice that they muted Trump's mic, but then they unmuted it for him to talk. But when they muted
Yes.
They did not yet.
they did not put it back on for her to talk. I'm like, what is that about? I'm like, so what are we doing? We're letting
And
him
I'm
finish. But we're not letting her finish.
Mm-hmm.
and then she was like, I gotta respond. It's 2 times now.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not letting me respond. They're like, we must move on. I'm like, oh hell no.
but she kept talking. She said, mhm. And she started. I was like, yeah, good for you, girl, because this is a little bit crazy right
And
there.
I'm like, it just shows the power dynamic, right? You're this old white man and you can say whatever you want. But you know what it kind of I don't want to believe the story, but then you know what gave me pause. When we went to London, me V and I went to London 2 years ago. Her aunt was like, and
Let
now we don't have any wild turkeys running around. And I'm like, why? And no ducks, no geese. I'm like, why, Auntie? She's like, because the foreigners have eaten them all. So I'm starting to wonder. I give pause because if it wasn't for it was last summer. If it wasn't for last summer, I would say, oh hell no, who's gonna eat people's pets? But your aunt said they're
Mhm.
eating all of the little pharaohs. They're just eating them all. They even eat the squirrels, you know.
Hmm. Well, I
Girl.
think some foreigners do eat, they eat differently than us, but I don't think they have done that. And I don't think that is the issue why you should be president, because some people are eating dogs. So what does that, how is that going to make you president? When they, at the end of the program, and they had the post program, they had like different women from different states on a panel. And all the other women, even though they were different states, different ethnicities, they, except for two, one said she was still on the fence, and the other one said she's definitely going to vote for Trump, because what has Harris done in the last 3 years? Because that's what Trump said at the end, and she still went for it. I'm like, really?
They kept asking that
The
question. What
whole
if why
debate.
why didn't you do something in the last 3 years? She's been vice president for 3 years. You were actually president
President,
for 4 years,
right?
and why didn't you do some of these things?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. But he's a white man, so he already has the power. We have to make sure she gets the power. But I was like, he could say whatever he wants, and some people are just going to follow him down the rabbit hole. I'm like,
Right.
really? I
Right.
mean, it doesn't matter if he's a felon. It doesn't, like, I'm like, what else can we do? And he never answered the question. Is he sorry about what happened when they attacked the Capitol? He
Yeah.
still did not answer that question. Excuse me.
Well, you know,
He,
everybody
got a,
knows.
he had a little nickname for him, the J Sixers, like they were a team.
Hmm.
You know, everybody knows. I don't know. Well, I'm just hoping everybody who's listening, everybody out there, go make sure you're registered, because we have to get out there and vote and vote
Yes.
and vote. Are you all registered?
Yes,
Yep.
Mhm.
Yes, I am a registered Republican.
sir.
No, I'm just playing.
Well, that's okay. As
I
long as you
used to
know who
be.
to vote for now.
No, I used to be a registered Republican. I tell everybody up to age, I think 21, I was a registered Republican. I'm
Why
okay
was
with
this
it
again? What? But why? You thought
because
Republican?
I was going to work from the inside out. You see, when it was time, I was going to go and infiltrate. And then when it was primaries, vote for the weaker person. See, because I can vote in the primaries. I was going to do it. Let me tell you, it worked for 3 years. I'm going to let you know in my
Who?
head.
Long game, y'all. Y'all don't know about that long game.
Yeah, I don't know what's that. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't even know what's the weaker person. So if the Republican was the weaker candidate, you were voting for them. But if the
No,
Democrat was,
because you know how you for the Democrats you go in and you can vote between the two people who's going to be the actual person on the ticket.
mm-hmm.
So you can't. I was in the Republican primaries
Mm.
voting for the weaker candidate.
Oh, I get it. See, I didn't
So when
understand.
it came up, the Democrat would win. I,
Ah,
I was and then in the Republican meetings, you know,
oh,
in my head, I did it. All right. I
so
don't think it worked. Yeah, I'll see. Nikki G thinks it was an interesting strategy. See?
yeah, yeah.
So I think we're going to take a break soon because we need to get into our topic. V, what's our topic that we're going to come back to?
Are you comfortable in your own skin? Well, I don't
Can we
know.
get nude?
Oh, you changed it? Okay. That's not what we said last week.
I try, V, I try. It's written all across your screen.
Oh yeah, it is. Oops.
So we're going to go
Can
on
we,
break.
listen, can we get nude?
This is Relationship Ish with V and Cash.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Chrissy, here to let you know that the Evening Rush Network now has an app. Yes, an app, you guys, so you can stay connected on the go and watch all your favorite podcast shows. You can download the app at Google Play Store or Apple iTunes. So spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, if you're looking to start a podcast and really don't know how, well, hit us up at the Evening Rush Network at gmail.com and inquire about time slots, pricings, and everything you may need to get started. We got you. Join the winning team, the Evening Rush Network. And also, download that app. What are you waiting for? Get to it.
Welcome back.
Pew, 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 pew. I love that sound effect. I love that sound effect. So don't forget to share this with your friend, who's your mom, who's your dad. Share this podcast on, and because we're on YouTube, the Evening Rush Network, Facebook, Spotify, Amazon, you name it, we're there. TikTok. So
And follow us on TikTok and Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Relationship-ish, and the Evening Rush Network, please. We can use all the followers we can get.
and download that app from the
Yes,
Evening
please.
Rush Network.
All right,
Oh,
can
no.
we get nude?
I'm telling you. So let me just tell you, we're taught by our families, we're taught by society that our bodies, like we have to like cover it up, and the expectation is, I guess it's different from place to place, culture to culture. And so now that I have my son, I was thinking, when can I stop walking around nude around my children? Because I love walking around nude. I'm just free, baby. Let it go. I'm free. And like it has nothing to do about frisky. It's just too damn hot sometimes. Just take it off. And I love being nude. I'm just saying I love being nude. And so why did Adam and Eve mess it up? Why did Adam and Eve have this consciousness that they needed to cover themselves up because they were shamed in the name of the Lord? But that's a Christian value. So, because Christians believe in Adam and Eve, so why is nudity such this hush hush thing?
Right, that's not
So
only a Christian, though, because you know
Adam
there's
and Eve?
no Adam
Well,
and Eve is
Jewish,
Christian. No,
but
no,
I'm talking about. Mhm.
but I'm saying like a lot of cultures look at a lot of Muslims covering up from here to here. Women cannot show their nothing but their eyes, like you know what I mean. So I'm just saying it's not only the Christians. I know Adam and
Well,
Eve, yes,
I
but
should say Judah. What is it?
Judaism,
No.
Judaism.
Thank you.
Judaism.
Judaism.
yes.
It goes along with that, right? The Hindus are secret D. Aren't you Hindu? You're Buddhist. Hindu? I don't know.
Hindu,
I'm
or
not. I'm not any of the
well,
above,
she's
but
been to
my
a Hindu
family.
church.
Yeah, I've been to the temple.
Mm-hmm.
And
And you dress obviously a certain way, but I feel like outside of that, like they'll still be in the club dressed a certain way. So it's not like you
So
dress one way
respect
to
for
go
the
to
Lord,
temple, but you can still go to the club. Yeah.
because there's respect for the.
so can we get nude? The first thing is culture and social norms. Like, why are we bound by these cultural and social norms? Why can't I just go buck free in Walmart
I don't want
and
to see
stand
your
in?
butt.
What? Oh,
People do it.
Yeah, I don't want to see
Hey,
it.
so it's like,
yeah.
what values or do you teach your child about nudity? Like when you're going to be explicit about nudity, how do you approach that for your child and for yourself so that you're normal, right? Because the social norm is that you cover up and you do these explicit unexpected ways of acting. But if you think about the people in Germany, they go in a hot tub butt naked with their children. Would you do that? Would you do that,
No,
V? Why
no.
not?
Well, because for me, that's uncomfortable. Like I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't care if somebody else did it. I'm not gonna say. In that case, I'm definitely not judging because it good for you. But no,
I
I
would
wouldn't.
judge. I'm judging.
I'm not judging. I think that's okay if that's what you guys do and everybody's cool with it. But I'm not doing that.
It's
Would you do
weird.
that? Would you do that? Secret D?
No, like I have three boys,
Okay.
but I'm also Guyanese.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never seen my mom without clothes on, even
Mm-hmm.
as an adult.
Mm.
But my kids, like I walk around basically in like a tank top and an underwear. That's like my uniform at home.
Mm-hmm.
And every time my mom comes over, she's like, "You have three boy children." I'm like, "They'll be fine." And I'm still pretty much covered. It'll be like equivalent to wearing a bathing suit in the house, a tank top and underwear. But my mom is still like, ugh, about it. But I think it's just culture because a lot of my friends have seen their parents naked, and I'm just like, really? Like, so I think it's just the way you're brought up. We never had an official conversation about it, but everybody knows what to do, I guess. It's just one of those things when you just grow up a certain way, you just follow it.
Yeah.
Nisha says that you don't want to be in
Yeah.
the hot
I
tub
was
with
trying to write. I
nothing.
don't blame you that I pressed the wrong thing. So I don't blame you, Manisha.
But why is that? Like the whole privacy and I don't know. Jamal, did what about nudity in your family and walking around?
Honestly, I think it's just the inability to separate nudity from sex. That's the problem. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
in so many cultures, especially Western cultures, you see nakedness, your body, your brain goes to sex. A lot of cultures have evolved past that, and you can just be naked and not have to be thinking about sex. When you think about just being naked, okay, you're just a human being in a body in a
Mm-hmm.
hot tub. Why couldn't you be in a hot tub with whoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your brain, or that part of your brain, way back in the back, it goes to sex. So
Mm-hmm.
for most of us, that's the discomfort because when we see nudity, when we express nudity, when we experience nudity, that part of our brain is going to sex. That's
Mm.
it.
I can see
That's it.
that
And
too, because
that
that's why people are uncomfortable with like people breastfeeding as well.
right. That's why we have such discomfort with it.
Yeah.
That's
Why?
why we have such discomfort with it.
Because I
Because
don't have a problem with that one. I'm like, take them
yeah,
out.
and I
That's
don't either,
me.
and I love some breasts. I've
That's
never associated
Yeah,
breastfeeding with. Oh yeah, look at you
well,
say.
I breastfed my
Not
youngest
consciously, not consciously, not like an
long.
Mhm.
outright like immediately I go to sex, but I think
I know
that's
what
where
you're saying.
that
No,
like
I know what you're saying.
inner internal
I
discomfort comes
agree
from.
with
I think
you.
that's where it comes from.
Mm.
Uh, Secret D, what were you saying? You breastfed and what?
Oh, I breastfed my youngest. I breastfed him past a year, so we didn't stop until he was almost 3, right? So
Okay, let me just say, my son has only 2 teeth in his mouth, only 2 teeth, and he seems to latch on right here. And I'm like, "You're a vampire. That hurts." So
yeah, it was
6. That means a mouthful
it
of.
was he had a mouthful of teeth. He was almost 3 years old. But he just wasn't ready, and I just had to kind of force wean him because I was over it. But a lot of people, like the comments, not to me directly, but I was in like an extended breastfeeding group, and people would like post screenshots and stuff like that, and people would say like the weirdest stuff about it, like, "Oh, you must be turned on. That's why you're breastfeeding past 12 months," and da da da. And I'm
Uh,
like, this is not fun. This is not fun at all. Like, I tried to wean him when he turned 1, and he screamed. When I say he screamed the whole house down, everybody in the house was begging me to they was like, just feed him, forget it. Because they would tell me he was too big, because I have big kids. But then after he screamed the house down, they're like, forget it, just forget it. Don't even try to wean him. Then COVID came, and it was like, oh, breast milk is best for keeping him safe. Da, 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 da. So we breastfed through that. And then I was okay, school's coming this year. We got to cut it out. So that's why we slowly weaned. But he's also, I feel like, super picky because of it, and also super clingy because of it. But
mhm.
that it was very interesting to see comments about breastfeeding because it involves your breast. I'm like, this is not fun. This is not a fun activity at all.
Yeah, it looked. My wife was like, I don't, and I'm like, well, but she was like, go ahead. And so I just put my finger there, and the force that he was sucking on my finger, and I'm matching it on my breast.
Don't let them fall asleep and the teeth go.
Ah.
I've had
Wait, the
that
teeth
happen.
go
He
what?
fell. So like
what? What do the
his
teeth
teeth
go?
just like clamped down. Like he would fall asleep and then he'll like jump out of his sleep and his whole mouth went. And then you scream and then he cries because you screamed. So everybody's crying. Just a
So
mess.
since you breastfed him until he was 3,
Almost
did
3.
your
Don't stop.
other kids see you
Yeah.
nude?
No, they saw
And
my boobs feeding him, but they didn't see me
Mhm.
nude. Like I popped out the
Oh,
boob
but
and fed, and they would be sitting like literally right next to me. Like my son would be here and he'd be breastfeeding, no problem. And then plus once he's past a certain age, he literally just took it out. So I have to like so I had to get comfortable with my boobs potentially being whipped out in public because I wasn't fast enough to be like wait a minute, like we're around strangers.
so
So
when it was in front of your kids and you had a naked breast out, did you feel conscious
no,
about
I didn't
your
feel any kind of way about it. No, I didn't feel any type of way about it. And they didn't either. Like, they were really like, especially like when I first had them, they were just like, because the middle one was just 5. So he was looking like, what's going on here? So I had to explain to him, milk and
Mhm.
stuff and the whole process. But they didn't feel any kind of way about it. They were just like, okay, we're just chilling. Everybody's just chilling. The only person that ran away was my brother. Like he'll be like, oh, and just like immediately about face. But everybody
Mhm.
else was okay. My brother was
Mm.
like, no, I don't need to see it.
Okay.
Jamal's, I know that you have some little female children. How do
Mm.
you feel about their like? I think about it. I'm a 2 females and I have a boy child,
Mhm.
and so you're a man and you have uh, little girls running around. How do you feel about this nudity thing and the norms that
So
you set for them?
I don't know if it's my own hangups. I never like to be naked around my kids ever, even
Mhm.
when they were little. I never like it was just for me. I was just uncomfortable being naked around my kids, even since they were small. My
Mhm.
wife will be naked around them occasionally, not intentionally, just like she got to run out of the room and go do something to go get something else. She'll do it and not have to worry about like I'll throw some shorts on. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like for me, it's like I've never been fully comfortable with being naked, and I don't know what lessons we taught them, but they have no compunction about being naked at all. Like they love to be naked all the time, and
Mhm.
we had to like start tamping it down when they got like 'cause my oldest are in middle school, so like they'll walk around naked amongst themselves with no problem. They'll take
Mhm.
baths, and I have a boy and 2 girls, and they'll all take baths, walk around naked. Like I have to go tell my son, put some shorts on, man. Like, like you've been out of the bath for like a half hour. You just sitting here chilling watching TV. You watching TV naked. Like, what are you doing right now? But that's he's like, what? Like what? Oh, just watching TV. All right. Nah, nah. But so I don't want to put whatever my mental block is on them, but clearly they
Right.
didn't get it.
So
Yeah.
does your wife walk around naked around your son?
Not anymore. There was I don't know what the number was, but there was a
Mhm.
point at which it was kind of like universally understood they should stop walking around naked in around everybody, and then we should stop walking around naked in front of them. I don't know what that number was, probably in the last couple of years,
Mhm.
but it was an unspoken fit point. We were like, all right, this is
Mhm.
strange.
Yes.
Mm. V, what about you?
Well, when my kids were little, I walked around naked. I have a boy and a girl, and when my son, I told Cash the story already. When my son was old enough to say word no, then I'm like, okay, so now he knows he has I need him to know that we don't walk around naked. Not gonna go in the street and then take off your clothes because you're hot. Like now we just can't do that anymore. One of the things he definitely did, I remember that I came in with a friend of mine into the house. He's in this downstairs bathroom with door open because every time he would have to go to the bathroom, he will take off everything and just be comfortable going to the bathroom. So, and the door's open and my friend's coming in and I'm like, close the door. He's like, I'm pooping. I'm like, okay, we don't need to know that. I'm like, close the door. She said, he take off all his clothes. I was like, yeah, that's what he does every time. And it took a long time to break that habit. And he wouldn't go anywhere else but the house, even if he really had to go. He's like, we have to get home because he wants you to take everything off and relax. And that's what he did.
I don't know. I mean, the culture and social norms. I guess what is taboo. Of course, it's taboo to be in the street taking off clothes, but like you said, like walking around naked around the house. I think I love walking around nude. Like you say, like sitting and playing video games. I sit down nude and play some video games. That's just it's just freeing.
If I had girls only, but I have a boy and a girl, and I wouldn't do it. Like I would just change in front of my daughter right now. Like I really don't care if she sees me.
But why is it that difference? Why are we setting that difference that you can be naked around your daughter, but you can't be naked around your son?
Well,
when you're not going to
that difference. You're right. We're not all setting. I'm setting the difference. That what makes, because I'm just trying to make myself comfortable. Like as long as he's comfortable in his skin, I don't care. Like, but I need to be comfortable, and I'm not comfortable with that. There's a I'm not.
No, but again, this is to like everybody. Why are we comfortable? And even the people out there that chime in. Why are we comfortable walking around? Like she said, I'm walking around comfortable around my daughter, but if my son is there, I'm not going to be naked. Like, what is it about being naked in front of the opposite sex if it's nothing sexual about being nude? Or is there something sexual?
I think it's just because there is sex involved, even though you're not thinking of it that way. It's just like saying you don't want to open the door and catch your parents doing anything. Like you just don't want to see certain things. So even if you try to separate it and say, well, it's not sexual, it's still I don't want to see my dad. I don't want to see that. I mean, if I had to change him or whatever, because he's older, but he's good, thank God so far. But I would. But I still don't want to see that. It's different from my mom because I'm a female, so I feel comfortable. Like Jamal said, I feel comfortable. It's a different thing. So do you want to see your dad naked, Miss Cash?
I mean, that's not the social norm that we've set up.
I know, but however, would you mind if you were naked? I mean, and he came in, would you go, oh my God, let me get something on? Or would you just say,
that would be changing the norm that has already taken place. Like my friend that used to go to dance school with us, her father was always nude. Mm-hmm. And so like I walked into the house and he was like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, huh? And
yep.
Okay, your father is, I'm in my own damn house. Of course I'm fucking naked. I'm like, all right then. But ever since then, I thought about it. I'm like, that's kind of cool because it didn't bother her at all. Like the fact that she's used to it and it wasn't like a sexual thing. And I mean, he was just laid out in the bed watching TV, spread to glory. And I was just like, oh. Like, and I'm trying to talk to him, but I can't really talk to him because I'm like, it's in my face, So I'm like, not trying to be rude, but
let me tell you something. I know who you're talking about, and she's married and she has kids, and in her family, like she grew up with that, right? But in her family, she doesn't do that. they don't sit around like that. So, but that's what she learned. It was okay, but it's not okay for her spouse doesn't agree with that. So they don't do that. Like he's
But
like,
you know, so much of that is cultural norms. Because I was either I read something or I was listening to a podcast of a guy who went and lived in a nudist colony for like a year or several months, and he said it was super weird for like the first week.
of
He
course,
couldn't help himself. He couldn't help himself from looking at everybody else's genitalia. Like that's exactly where his eyes went immediately for
yeah.
that first week. And within a week, it was gone. And it would
Hmm.
be like from that point on, he'd be sitting at a table, everybody naked, eating dinner, and he was looking at the people because like that part of it had passed.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean?
Mhm. But see, going to a nudist colony, it would have me freaking out for different reasons. Because did you wipe your ass before you sat down on that chair?
Yeah,
Because
that
there's
part.
nothing to protect it. So
Your left hand to wipe and your right hand to eat.
That part.
That's the Indian culture. That's what you
see
do
that
because
again.
you eat with your hands. So you only eat with your right hand because you use your left hand to wipe and you eat.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you wash your hands. You eat with your right hand and you wipe with your left hand. No one eats. They don't eat like this. They eat with the right hands only. My mom
Mhm.
eat with the right hand because you wipe with your left hand. That's how it goes.
That's a lot of culture. That's a lot of
Yeah,
culture.
that's the Indian culture. I mean, because they eat a lot with their hands. My mom
Are
used to eat
they
a lot.
ambidextrous? Because I don't know if I could get it all
Well, you've
clean
been
with
wiping with
my
your left hand your whole life, then it would be okay, right? And
left.
eating with your right hand, even if you're lefty, you still eat with your right hand and wipe with your left. You just learn to
Well,
do these things.
the second problem about can we get nude? The
Body
second thing
is
is body image issues. Is it we can't get nude because we have these image issues? Like, oh, my I this is too flabby. This my butt's too flat. I got the cellulite. I don't want people looking at that. That's disgusting. Or I think one of the guys at work, I was talking to him, and he was like, "No." One of the reasons is I seriously don't want to see if my son gets bigger than me. I'm gonna be upset if my son's bigger than me, and I'm like, okay. I never thought about that. Is it a competition? Like what? Like I am
Yes,
your
it's
father,
always
so
a
I must.
competition.
Okay, but there
oh.
is.
Jamal said,
But
"Hey,
then
got
wouldn't
competition."
since we've been generation after generation, wouldn't now the you be this big? If your father was bigger than you and bigger than you, bigger than you, it's like
I think it
going
gets
through
bigger each
generation.
generation. It gets
It's
like
funny though because you say that like my
taller.
thing is I hope my son is bigger because I want it to go the other way. So I would be proud and be like, yeah, that's my boy, right? Keep it going. That's to me, but it's always a competition.
He's got my genes.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. Oh
I'd be
no.
like, I did that. I did that. I was part of
Hey,
that.
hey.
Okay.
Well, I also think that I think in my house we were not my kids were not ashamed of their bodies, and then but my son wasn't, and I wasn't. Like if we were doing a show, I'll get changed in front of whoever's there. It could be man, woman, dog, child. I don't care. I have to. It's a show. I'm getting changed. My daughter wouldn't. She was always hiding. But even though she didn't grow up like that, you know what I mean? She didn't grow up with the hide yourself, you know. And right now she says, we were in the car because we were talking about the show, and she's like, she was talking to her friend. She goes, my mom will just change right in front of me. She's like, oh, this bra's not working. She just takes it, and she just shows everything. No one wants to see that. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to run and go somewhere else because you're in the room. Then you need to go out of the room if that's bothering you. But I'm not doing all that. Just go, like, you know what I mean? But she's always been like that. Like it's nothing. My son is more the exhibitionist. He's like, you like these speedos I got? I'm like, what are you doing with boy go. It's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? So they're both raised in the same household. You know what I mean? And one is like an exhibitionist, and the other one is hiding from her mama. I'm like, so, you know, it is what it is, you know?
So I mean, and like thinking about body issues, like, are you gonna let them see you change? Well, for females, I don't know. They have what do you call those things? You know what? Corsets.
Mm-hmm.
They have
Oh yeah.
men. Yeah, you know those Spanx. Are we ashamed to show our body, what our real body looks like when we get out of those
I'm
Spanx? Because I
like,
know I wear those Spanx to work, and when I come home, I'm like, oh, thank God, because I can't breathe for the whole day.
oh,
Like,
they know what I look
yes,
like.
No,
Secret
my
D told me about like the waist trainer, right? So she told me, I'm like, girl, help me put this on. She's like, oh my God, I'm not ashamed. I'm like, I can't. I need
listen.
help.
My
I'm not trying to
but
pretend
does that
I'm somebody.
come to the kids thinking about what their body should look like? Like
Mm-hmm.
my
if I was V's daughter, I wouldn't want to be around her taking off her bra because I'm going to be so quite honest. V's breasts are standing at attention with no bra on. What the freak? I would not want to change in front of her because I'd be like, look at hers and look at mine.
I
Oh
had on
no.
a like a
Mm,
bra on, and we were
mm.
talking about breasts, and she's like, okay, well, it's the bra. I was like, okay, that's not the bra. My boobs are like that. She's like, okay, no, they're not. I was like, this, okay. I took it out and I'm like, I'm not ashamed. Here they go. And she's like, this, okay. I'm like, girl,
And so I'm thinking like
don't challenge me.
thinking about my mom, like I don't know, because my mom did not walk around nude. Honestly, like she would be in the bathroom and I'd be like, I have to use the bathroom. But I mean, like if she was walking from her room or whatever, she'd walk nude, but not like. And I always looked at her and I was like, I don't want big breasts like that. Those look like they hurt. That's the only thing that I remember. I was like, they look like they hurt. And so for me, for body image, I didn't want to have breasts that laid down. I wanted it to be definitely up because I was like, can you carry something in there? I was always trying to put something under there. Or she would pull that money out like, and I'm like, I didn't have enough to pull any money out. So I was like, I want to have breasts, but I didn't. I was a bored. I was just like done. And I was like, I'm not going to be like my mom. I'm not going to have any breasts, you know? And look at me now. But
Mhm. Thank
I
you, mom.
wonder,
Thank you,
do
mommy.
we like the opposite? You know, like if your sons see you, are they thinking that this is the type of woman that they should have?
No, because I have no ass. And my son likes girls with big butts. And he didn't grow up seeing his mother with a big butt because I ain't got no butt. So that's what he likes. He likes what he likes. You know what I mean? So that didn't change. I do not look like that. He likes, and I ain't
Mm.
got that.
yeah.
Jamal, do
Eventually, it
you
just
think?
turns into personal preference. I think.
Right. It's yeah, and just because your mom looks one way doesn't mean that's what you're looking for.
I feel like they might avoid that. You know what I mean? Like they
Hmm.
wouldn't want to be with someone that reminds them
The
of the way
opposite.
their mother looks,
Well, they say that
unless
girls
they
look
have,
like their dads, but
yeah,
that's the personality, not the looks.
right.
Like they marry somebody who's like their dad. If their dad was mean, they get somebody who's mean. If their dad was nice, they try to get somebody who's nice. Not the looks. It's the way that the dad carries himself. That's what girls tend to look for. So dads are important.
Right.
So,
Mom.
Jamal, do you think that your body issues of not wanting to walk around nude is going to affect your son in
Mhm.
any negative way?
It's funny because I don't want it to be honest. Like I really try for it not to be, but like I am self-conscious for him. So
Mhm.
I'm like, dude, you can't walk. But he doesn't care. And I almost envy him. I almost don't want him to care. I'm like, all right, you know what? Keep going. Keep not caring. I'm just more scared for him in the world. Like I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't want him to be embarrassed. I don't want him to be like, I don't want, you know what I mean? So I'm almost worried for him, but like I'm glad he doesn't seem to have any of those hangups. So I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
So he walks around his sister's nude too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When
Yeah.
they all take a bath, it's bath time. Everybody goes in the bath. He gets in the bath. Like they're all walking around in the room that naked. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Can y'all put some clothes on, please? Please put some clothes on. Oh yeah.
Innocence.
So it's
I,
interesting because even your boy, you don't feel comfortable. Like, would you use the bathroom? I know how men have the urinal thing. Would you use the bathroom next to your son?
when I use the bath, I mean, nah, it's funny because even when but I turn away from it. Like I still like
Yeah. I
block it
know.
out. You know what I mean? I box it
Yeah.
out. You
Yeah.
know? So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
From the jump, I've never been like, I'm going to
And it's
be butt ass naked in front of
interesting
my kids.
because I know your mom, and your mom seems so free. It's so like, oh, so
It's
I
funny.
would.
I think I could count on one hand the number of times I actually saw my mother naked. It was rare. He would like you catch a glimpse of her running from one room to another, but she did not walk around the house naked.
My mom
She is
either.
a she's a free spirit, but she did not walk around the house naked.
My mom didn't even come out of the bathroom.
This is
She put a robe on before she came out of the bathroom. My mom did not walk
My mom
around. Maybe
too.
it's a Caribbean thing. 'Cause my mom did
Yeah,
not come out of the bathroom without a robe on. She's not walking
definitely a
around.
Caribbean thing.
Yeah,
well,
Hmm.
his mother's not Caribbean,
I
so
know.
Nope. But no, she did not walk around naked. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know where you get it from.
I
That's
don't
one
know
of
where
those.
I get it from either. So where I get this naked thing
So what are
from?
you gonna do, Cash? Are you going to,
I don't know because I remember my one of my other friends. She has a brother who's 12 years, I think it's like almost like 12, 13 years younger than her. It has to be more, maybe 14 years younger. Because we are in high school and there was a Rugrats episode, and the Tommy was like, "Nikki is free," so he would take off his diaper and run around the house. Nikki is free, so he would take around. I would just come in and I'm like, "So what's going on?" He's like, "Nikki is free," and diaper gone, and I'm like, "Okay, well, if he's feeling free."
Respect it.
I, I'm gonna respect it. I mean, with the the body image issues, I
It's
don't
funny
feel
though to
like
go back to your first question about like my own body image. Like I don't have any issues with myself naked. If there's nobody around, I love to be naked. I walk around the house naked. Like I love walking around. If there's nobody in the house, I love walking around the house naked. Like I'll get purposely naked and go into spaces that I'm never naked in. Like I'll walk in the kitchen just because I'm in the kitchen naked. Like I'll be like,
Me
ooh, look at
too.
me right now. I'm in the kitchen naked. Ooh, look at me right now. I'm in the living room naked. Like I just walk around the dining room naked just because. Like I do that. It's my hang up is entirely connected to being seen by other people. And
Mm-hmm.
it's strange because I don't
mm,
even mind being seen by people outside. Like if somebody was looking in my window from the outside, I'd be like, well, fuck you, I'm in my house. So I'm gonna be naked. But like maybe just people I know, I don't know. It's strange.
He actually opens up the blinds. He's like, "Look, y'all, I'm naked.
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
want to look by my
okay.
house? Look, I'm naked."
All right. Well, we're not going to get to the rest of this tonight, y'all, but we're going to have to come back and revisit this because I'm just saying, I walk in front of anyone naked except my daughters, Mark says.
Hmm.
But why not your daughters? If it's not sexual, again, I keep going back to it. If it's not sexual, why can't you walk around the opposite sex child nude? You don't want people in your business. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I think for like what Jamal said, for some people, it it is sexual, especially since we're not used to that. So your eyes go straight to, like, if I'm just like this, where are your eyes going? Straight to here, but that's fine. But if I'm naked and your eyes go straight to there, right? So then it makes it an uncomfortable situation because you didn't. do it. If you grew up like it, he said like the first week it was okay at the nudist colony, right? But then it was after that he was good. So right now you can't, it's too late. If you have already done that growing up doing that, you can't just start walking around naked in front of your kids. I'm not going to be just walking around naked in front of my son. He's a grown like man.
And you know what it is too? You spend so much of your time as a kid being told that part is wrong. Like it's you no, you don't touch that. Don't touch that part. You don't show that part. That's wrong. That's wrong. So when you see somebody naked, it's like you feel instinctively down in that gut part of you. I'm
Right.
doing something wrong. I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm looking at
Because you
breasts.
don't want them
I
to
should
be touching
I shouldn't be
themselves.
seeing breasts. I shouldn't be seeing breasts. I shouldn't be seeing that. I'm doing something wrong.
Right.
And once you get past that, maybe it takes a while to get past that and you can move on. But that part of it is kind of ingrained in you because you were told all your life as a child that part is wrong. These parts are wrong.
Right.
That makes sense because my son right now is in that phase. He's just found his little thing. I'm trying to change him. He's like,
listen, my son is like that. He's 6.
And I'm like, what are you doing? But I go back and I was reading. I'm like, okay, they're exploring. They don't know what that is. He's never found that before because his diaper's always on. It's not like he goes into his diaper to find it. So I don't know.
My 6-year-old just discovered his again. I'm like, can you stop touching it? He's like, why? I thought you said if it's mine, I can touch it, but other people can't unless they're helping me bathe. I'm like, I did say that, but not just anywhere. So now I have to teach him like, okay, touch it when you by yourself. Like not make it into like a taboo thing, but because he's like, I know the rules. I can touch it because it's mine, and nobody can if it's not. So
yeah, good for you though. I like those
Good
rules.
rules. That's I like those rules. Those are good rules.
Those are
But
good.
then when he grows up, right, and he's gonna have a woman who wants to touch it, and he's gonna be like, nah, that's wrong. It's gonna be something inside of it, like, that's wrong. That's the part of it. It's like you've been told all your life, that's wrong. And now you're doing something wrong.
As he gets older, I'm sure he'll get it. But I'm like, he's 6.
Of
so
course.
I'm like, I need it black and white. Like
No,
if you're not in the
I see that.
bathroom,
He needs to think that it's wrong if people touch it because you don't want somebody.
Of course.
And he says, yeah, my mom says everybody can touch it. No,
no.
Right now we need to make sure he knows it's wrong if anybody touches it. But so he'll Jamal, you got it. So I think he'll get it.
Oh yeah, he'll get it.
Like,
We're gonna have another episode because I need some parenting thing. Because you're like, he's touching it. I'm like, well, wait, what? One day, I guess that's. Did you ever have the masturbation talk with your children?
Yes, I did. I did with both my kids. Yeah. My mom had it with me. My mom.
Did you see Jamal's face? I love it. He's like,
okay, so with your 6-year-old, or you had how old were they when you had this conversation?
No, they were older when
my oldest was like 12.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
both kids were 12.
My youngest is 6 now. My oldest is about to be 14. But I think it's like 11, 12.
My twins now are 11. They're about to turn 12 this month. And so like that to me is like, I feel like definitely my wife has got to have that conversation with my daughter.
Well, yeah,
I'll have that conversation. I'll have that conversation with my son. But it's funny, that is not the conversation I thought of having. It's more like, okay, the whole sex conversation.
Yeah, because the thing is, I had the sex conversation, but I also had the masturbation conversation because my mom had the masturbation conversation with us because she didn't want us to think that, that's my sister. We both had it at the same time. I don't know how old I was, but we both were like, so.
Well, my sixth grader, the third day of 6th grade, he came home and said, "Mom, what's come?" And I was like, I said 3 days into middle school. What? So I thought I had more time, but because his school was a middle school mixed with high school, a kid was eating hummus for lunch. A high schooler walked by and said, "Ooh, that looks like cum." and walked away. So my sixth grader came home and very plainly, like very nonchalant,
Right.
Mom,
Because he
what's
didn't know
cum?
what
And
it
I was
is.
just
He's like, what is it? So he didn't
Right.
know.
so I told him, I was like, it's a slang word for sperm. And he goes, it doesn't even look like that.
That was his answer. I love it. I love
And then
it.
I was like, okay. So then I realized I had to have conversations. So that's when I started having the conversations. I bought him a book. I said, read this. If you have questions, let me know. We could discuss. And it went a little bit like that. But that's kind of what made me like, okay, wait a minute. I have to have these conversations earlier than I thought I would because he's being exposed to it.
Well, my best friend was masturbating and her mother caught her. And so her mother told my mother. So my mother's like, okay, I'm going to have to talk to my kids. Like, so they know that it's okay. But this is not to be done every day, but it's okay. Feel like you want to do that. It's nothing to be ashamed of. But my mom had that conversation with Cash. Did your mom have that conversation with you?
No.
Mine either.
No. Nothing. No.
Flat no. Flat no.
Remember, my mother was the daughter of a preacher man, so I'm pretty sure the conversation was, "You're going to hell. Leave that part of your body alone."
But that was in the book. The book that I bought him, that was in there too. Like it was really good. Like I forgot it's a book for boys.
What is this book?
I'll find the name of it. I'll tell Cash and Cash can tell you. It's really informative. There's pictures and everything, but it's like not explicit. But it talks about everything, like their urges and all these things, and masturbation and the changes they're starting to feel and all these things. And I'm like, I don't have a penis, so I don't know. And then he told me he was having like spontaneous erections at one point, and I started laughing. And he's like, "You can't take anything serious." And I'm just like, "You're catching me off guard." Like, I'm sorry. So
you can't even bust it out with spontaneous erection like this. That word is just like out your vocabulary with my middle school
So
child.
he ended up speaking to my mom and my stepfather about it because he's like, "You can't take anything serious." I said, "That's fine. I talk to them." So it's just like, whoo, you think you have more time. I'm just like, because I kept laughing because of his facial expressions and him trying to explain it. I just kept laughing because I can't take it. I was like, oh God. I'm the new adult and I'm over here laughing every 5 seconds and he's looking at me like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I'm sorry. Poor baby.
Oh, poor
baby. I'm gonna find the name of the book and I'll send it. But it's really well written. I was like, okay, this is good.
So. All right. Well, I still didn't get my answers. Can we get nude? I'm gonna get nude. I'm still gonna stay nude. Until my son goes.
There's no right answer. We did give you answers.
I don't want to see that.
I mean, I took baths with my son until he was like 3 or 4, something like that.
You're not gonna know if it's the right answer. You're not gonna know if it's the right answer until he's a grown man and you figure out whether he's got some complex.
Yeah.
Wait, did your mom ever take baths with you?
No.
That you remember? No.
I took showers with my kids, both of my kids.
Yeah, I took showers with Kai until he was like 4-ish, I think.
My son and my daughter. I'm like, okay, we're taking a shower. Let's go. Let's go. Sally, let's
go. Wait a second. So he could say no, but you took a shower with him.
Yeah. Yes, I definitely took a shower with him, but not to clean. Like, in other words, was not, but once he that was before he went to pre-K. As soon as he started going to pre-K, no more showers together. He could take a shower with his father, but not with me. Like, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to say, I was in the bathroom naked with my mother. They won't know that we were taking a shower. I don't want any confusion in the group. I don't want anybody saying, what was going on at your house? Your son said, no, okay, no.
Yes, we were taking a shower together.
Yeah, no, we're not even going all that. No one's going to report me. No one's going to say, well, we didn't know. We had to a mandated report. I had to say, I didn't ask you, but I already reported it. No, none of that's going to happen to me. So that ended right there. Those mandated reporters, I'm not playing that game.
Jamal, did you ever take a shower? Oh, but did you ever take a shower with any of your kids?
Never. Nope.
Never.
Nope.
He's
serious. He's
I mean,
I don't
I don't, maybe I'm just strange. I don't know. I never did. Like,
train. That's why we have to train.
honestly,
A lot of people are
honestly, most of my kids, even now, as my kids are 11, 12, they still take baths. So I always remember giving my kids a bath. I'd always have a bath. I'd be kneeling next to the bath. I'd have clothes on and I'd be washing them. So until they could wash themselves. And then they just started taking baths on their own. So there was never a point in which I felt like I even needed to get in the bath with them or get in the
right.
shower with
I was just lazy, so I was like, it's just easier if we just get in the
Saving
shower.
time.
I
Yeah.
I'm saying, what am running on water? Let's get in the shower. Let's go.
Yeah. It's just
go take a shower.
faster. It's
It was
easier.
just faster. It's a convenience for me. So
Mhm.
that's
Same.
but
Oh,
you try to
That's
get him
funny.
in the shower, you're getting all wet anyway. You're like, okay, and let's just get in the shower and
I
And
think
you
it's
don't
a
gotta
man
worry
thing.
about a mess when you come out.
Mhm.
Well, I want to thank our guest today. We had Secret D. Yeah.
We don't have those sound
We don't have our sound effects today. We have Jamal.
effects. And we hope
Thank
to
y'all
have
for
you
having
guys back again. And thank you. Next time, it will not be such short notice, Jamal. But we appreciate you. You brought a lot to the table. And the same thing, Secret D. You always bring a lot to the table. I still have your shirt, Secret D, but I'll
Oh
give
yeah.
you if I ever see you. I just still have it here, just waiting for you. I almost wore it the other day. I'm like, this is Secret D shirt. I'm like,
When
is
you
that
come
right?
back to Queens, you gotta let me know.
Yes.
So
Well,
this
definitely.
is Relationship Itch. We're here every Thursday night, 8 p.m. We are here talking about the cornerstone of every relationship connection. You could follow us on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, the Evening Rush Network, and TikTok, Instagram. You name it, we're on there. So tell your brother, to tell your friend, tell your sister, tell your mother, to tell your uncle, even if they're nude. You can watch Relationship Ish.
Yeah, you can watch it in nude. We won't judge.
Any ahas, V?
Um, yeah, I got aha, Jamal. I didn't know men were. I thought men were free with boys, like because I'm free with my daughter. So I just assumed all men, of course. So I just learned something. Everybody is an individual, and there's no wrong or right. And I'm not judging. I'm just finding out more information. So I learned that. How about you, Secret D?
Same. I feel like as a woman, I always like to hear a male's perspective, and a lot of stuff he said, I was like, oh, okay, but then it
Yeah.
makes sense because
Mhm.
I'm not a man, so I'm like, oh, I wouldn't even think of that. So
Yeah.
that was good.
Anything that make you say, Jamal?
I want to know about this book. I need to have this conversation with my kids. So I'm trying to have this book on hand.
Okay, so
You know what? Let me look it up right
Secret D
now.
gives it to us, then we're gonna post it on Facebook.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna look it up right now, and I'll text it.
All right.
All right. Well, V, take us out.
I appreciate you.
So follow us. Come next week to our show. It is our empty nest. Why empty nesters are having more sex?
Okay.
Well, okay. Next week's show. So this is Relationship Ish, and I'm Cash.
And I'm V.
You have a great night, guys. We'll see you next
Bye.
week.